Hello again. Welcome to Growing Through Literacy 2024. I'm Robin Ryan, Executive Director at Literacy Network. Today is our opportunity to hear directly from students about the impact of Literacy Network in their lives. We will hear from students Pauline, Bonifacio, and JC on our video, as well as from Ana and Vicente here at the podium. This year marks our 50th anniversary of Literacy Network. As we all listen to the students who came, as we all listen to students today, it's gratifying to think about really truly the thousands of students who came before them and found support at Literacy Network. In August, we had a block party in our parking lot to celebrate our 50th, and we were really pleased to see former students return. My favorite part was seeing former students return and greet former instructors and current instructors. We had businesses that were run by former students who provided food and entertainment, and current students volunteered greeting guests and running activities at the party. So for all of you who were there, I hope you enjoyed it. We all certainly did. Another aspect of our 50th anniversary is that Margaret Francino, our amazing events and marketing manager, has been putting together a series of 50 Faces of Literacy Network. And she's capturing short stories from past students, volunteers, donors, former staff. Please check out that series. You can access it from our homepage. Before we start our formal program, I would like to thank our financial supporters for today's lunch. They are Basic Biotech Methods, Boardman Clark, Custer Burris Financial Services, Group Health Cooperative, the Madison Club, which has graciously provided the space for minimal cost, Open to Close Real Estate Group, Pine Spa, Summit Credit Union, Task, and Woodman's. And our final two sponsors, Findorf and Legacy Exteriors, worked on our building modeling and residing project this year. We were really pleased with the work they did, so please come check it out at our wonderful learning facility on Park Street. I also want to thank Margaret Francino, our marketing events coordinator, as I mentioned before, for putting together this lunch and sharing student stories throughout the year. Thank you also to Jane McGowan and our board members for inviting you all here for this event. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you today's event MCs who will lead us through the program. Our programs are only possible because of community support, and Luis and Lupita Montoto have been true champions of students and their dreams. Nearly 25 years ago, Lupita and Luis founded La Movida, South Central Wisconsin's only Spanish language radio station. They bring information, news, entertainment, music, and family events to the community and collaborate with local, state, and federal government agencies. Lupita, Luis, and La Movida have been longtime supporters of Literacy Network students, helping us spread the word about our programs and graciously hosting staff and students live on the radio show. Those of you who attended Reading Between the Wines in April know that Lupita was our featured speaker. Once you join the Literacy Network community, we never let you go, and we ask you to bring your friends and family. And Lupita did that. We are delighted to have both Lupita and Luis MC today's celebration.
Thank you for that introduction, Robin. I am Lupita Montoto, and it is my pleasure to be today's event MC along with my husband, Luis. I came to the U.S., to Madison, Wisconsin, actually, from Mexico over 25 years ago. As an immigrant, I know firsthand how hard it can be to come to a new country, especially one where you need to speak a new language to communicate.
Hi, my name is Luis, better known as Lupita's husband. I am not an immigrant. I am a refugee from the state of Texas. Even though, go Cowboys, yeah. They're not too good right now, but oh well. When Lupita and I founded La Movida 25 years ago, back in 2000, we knew we wanted it to be more than just a place where Latinos could listen to music. We wanted it to be that bridge, that connecting bridge between the community and mainstream America. And we wanted it to be something that where they could count for resources, something bigger than that. We wanted it to be a go-to resource, a place for resources. Latinos in the Madison area could count on, and that's what Lupita and I established here in Madison, April 30th of 2000. One of the things that we acknowledged since the beginning is information is power, and that's what we have strived to do for our community, to empower them. So when they leave in the morning, they feel empowered, whether they're going to go drop off their kids at school or going to work. That's what Lupita and I strive to do every day, every morning, and every afternoon, and I'm
And one of the best ways we have been able to support our community is by helping people learn about different organizations and resources, including government programs, nonprofits, and more. We have been sharing Literacy Networks programs with our listeners for more than a decade. We have had Literacy Network staff on our show countless times to share information about its program with our listeners. And each time Literacy Network has joined us, we hear from our listeners that they are so excited to learn that there is a place where they can take classes and build their English skills. They love that all them to work towards, they love that the classes are flexible to fit their schedules and allow them to work toward their personal goals. And importantly, classes are offered free of any charge to students.
Today, we are honored to be here with you as Literacy Network celebrates 50 years of providing help to adults in Dane County, help adults reach their dreams. Later in the program, you will hear from some long-time supporters who share why Literacy Network is important to them, as well as 2 students who will share their own stories. First, though, I want to bring Robin back up to the podium to share more about this milestone year. 50 years. I'm younger than that, right, folks? Robin?
Thank you, Lupita and Luis. When students share stories about participating in literacy classes at our agency, they often talk about the skills they're learning: English, reading, writing, math, computer skills. But just as frequently, they talk about the relationships that they build and the experience of being welcomed and supported and being part of a community at Literacy Network. The sense of community helps students build confidence to pursue their individual goals. So when I'm talking about the Literacy Network community, I'm talking about you. Certainly the students are a major part, but also the volunteers, board members, staff, individual donors, grant funders, and our partner agencies. Together, this Literacy Network community has built something rather special and impactful over 50 years. The community has built Literacy Network through a combination of deliberative planning, bold response to current events and changing circumstances, and yes, a little serendipity. When the agency makes ambitious plans, we do so with the faith that this Literacy Network community will participate and provide support. And this is how, yet again this year, Literacy Network has delivered achievements. We started the year by expanding into part of the building that we used to lease out to Just Dane. And that expansion provides us more space for bigger classes and space for our growing staff. We were able to do this because donors stepped up. We added an 11th community literacy tutoring class, one of our most popular types of classes, because volunteer tutors stepped up and staff stepped up. We added a 4th citizenship class with our new U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services grant. We moved classes to the northeast side of Madison because we are finding that there's a gap in services in those Northeast neighborhoods. And we are able to do this because we have lots of wonderful partners. The libraries are always top among them, so Lakeview Library is a partner, Eastside Community Center, Vera Court Neighborhood Center, Goodwill, and Northport Apartments. We expanded our workplace programs where Literacy Network instructors teach classes at local businesses for employees on paid employed time. We now have 3 really excellent partners, Game Manufacturing, Electronic Theater Controls, and our newest, Poinette Ironworks. Each partner has developed a unique program to support both their business and the employees. Dane Manufacturing is just one really wonderful example. They started in about 2021-22, they're in Wanakee, and they started because one applicant who spoke Spanish was seeking to apply for a job. And from that, they have developed a whole program where they have English language classes, where they're supporting their students, and students have, as they learn English, are advancing in their job responsibilities, and they now have a wait list for people who want to work at their facilities. We are on track this year to meet or exceed the record number of students served from last year, 1,445. And we did this because the entire community here stepped up. Our staff took on extra duties, providing more student support services, teaching more classes, recruiting more volunteers, supporting more volunteers. More volunteers joined us, and donors and grant funders have made that all possible. Thank you. So Literacy Network this Literacy Network community doesn't just support us, sometimes you push us. That happened this year. Volunteers and donors and partners shared their concern that there was a group of Afghan women refugees on the northeast side of town who were not attending classes. And we were able to respond, provide a new class, provide that class first at Warner Park and then now at Northport Apartments. And we've had donors who have come up to support our providing that class and even provide funding so that we can have Jewish Social Services provide childcare. Students are also leading us. Students share their priorities with us through an annual student survey. And in addition, we have students on our newly formed Student Leadership Council who are advising us on what we should be doing next. And they're all saying the same thing. They want more instruction time, and they want more opportunity to practice skills and learn practices and customs in the U.S. So I said before that serendipity is sometimes part of moving forward. This year, one of our newest projects is that we are going to join with a mega school. Oscar Morales is over here. And when he retires at the end of this year, we are really excited to be making Omega School a program literacy network and carrying on the very important work that they have done in the community, working particularly with young adults achieving their GED. The timing was right for this merger. Our respective missions are completely aligned. Our specialties are unique. We each have different ways of teaching, and we each reach different people in the community, and together we will provide avenues for students to stay within the programs and advance from program to program and achieve their goals. So thank you to the Literacy Network Board that spent a lot of time evaluating this proposal and making sure it was the right thing for the agency. Thank you to Omega staff, supporters, board members, students for trusting us to take on this project. And thank you to all of you, our current and future Literacy Network community members, for making all these achievements possible. As we set ambitious goals, we are standing on the shoulders of our predecessors who have been making big impacts for the past 50 years. When groups of immigrants and refugees from Cuba, Southeast Asia, Bhutan, and many other places moved to Dane County and presented a need for group English classes taught by professional instructors, the formerly all volunteer organizations stepped up and created group classes. When Literacy Network wanted to create a tutoring program that combined the personalized attention of volunteer tutors, the flexibility for students who had multiple employment and family responsibilities, and structure and support for both students and volunteers, the agency experimented until coming up with our current community literacy tutoring program, where paid interns provide individualized lesson plans and support for 8 pairs of students and tutors in weekly sessions. And when we needed a spacious and dignified learning center for students, the Literacy Network community completed a successful capital campaign for our building on Park Street. So the Literacy Network community has high expectations for the agency. We know that with the support of the whole Literacy Network community, that together we will do great things. Thank you.
That was really great. Thank you so much, Robin. And every time I hear about all the programs Literacy Network provides to our community, I'm so impressed. And I'm grateful to be a part of this. Now I'm proud to introduce you to a few Literacy Network's students and supporters in a brand new Literacy Network video. Let's hear from students Pauline, Jessie, and Bonifacio, along with Rene Mo, President and CEO of United Way of Dane County, and board member Stephanie Lay. You're sitting at a spot where it's hard for you to see the screens. Please feel free to get up and move to a spot where you can see better. There are screens at the front and on the back of the room. So let's have the video play now, please.
My name is Pauline. I'm from Cameroon. I decided to take class at Literacy Network because I want to improve my English and find a good job. All my teachers, they teach me with love. And then give off the good advice. They're so kind and friendly. Literacy Network welcome many people from different culture and background. That is very great thing.
Literacy Network helps adults in Dane County build skills, reach goals, and connect communities. It offers free literacy and English language programs so that students can reach their employment, education, and personal goals.
My name's Jacy. I wanted to finish my high school education since I dropped out. The things in my life just didn't really shake out that way. But once I moved from out of state to Wisconsin, I found the Literacy Network. I really enjoyed how supportive everybody was. Everybody was always checking in and making sure that things were working, and it was really nice.
I'm Renee Mo, and I'm President and CEO of United Way of Dane County. We support Literacy Network because of the amazing, powerful programs that Literacy Network coordinates. We also know that they meet students where they are and make sure that every person who comes to Literacy Network feels included, gets the support they need to help achieve their goals. So when it comes to having literacy as a pathway to financial success, family success, and community success, we're all in.
My name is Bonifacio Cruz, and I'm from Mexico. I decided to take class Literacy Network because it's very important for living in the United States, and it's a little more easy, the life. Sometimes when people get angry when they ask something, if you don't answer, so sometimes they get angry. When they go store or anywhere, so it's not only the job, so it's the life here. Now I take only tutor, so they help me my speaking, writing, and reading.
My name is Stephanie Lay. My dad, Tan Lay, was a student at Literacy Network in the first few years that it started. I started out as a tutor and thought it was just going to be a summer thing and it was just going to be temporary. And then I became an intern, and now I'm on the Development and Marketing Committee as a chair and on the board. And none of those things I really expected, but each step of the way I've found the work to be super impactful and meaningful to me personally. What I really love and find unique about Literacy Network is really how they work to tailor the students' learning experience to their true needs. And that's definitely not an easy task, knowing that from the perspective of a tutor and an intern. And I just think it's really admirable to really make their learning experience personal.
It helped me a lot, especially in my job, because nobody speak my language there when I start, so it was hard for me when I'm not understand what they ask me or what they tell me to do. It's very important for everything. So like if I want to go with doctors or wherever I want to go, so I need to understand what they told me. So they give you translated, but sometimes they do not say what you tell your translator. Sometimes they say another thing. Literary network is very important because it helps a lot of people. So we don't understand, especially a job or our life here in the United States. That is the part is good.
I know there are more individuals coming into our community who are also looking toward pathways with greater language skills and the ability to grow their incomes and their well-being in our community, and also to give back and contribute. So when we invest in individuals who are working to better their literacy, better their employment skills, increase their circumstances for their family well-being, we know the whole community thrives. It's a great investment to support Literacy Network.
In my future, I want to have a certificate. After the certificate, have a good job. When I work and have a lot of money, I will open my own business. My dream is to be a businesswoman.
Literacy Network makes positive, measurable impact on its students and therefore really creates positive outcomes for the community. I think that you should support Literacy Network if you want to be part of something great and really only change lives for the better.
My tutor is very encouraging. I didn't know if I was going to start college this fall, and he told me, well, the worst thing you could do is try. And so I applied, and now I start soon. It definitely gave me a lot more confidence. All these far-off dreams and thinking that, you know, maybe one day I'll finish my high school completion, maybe one day I'll go to college. It really helped give me that confidence of I can do it. Like, these things aren't as far away as they seem.
I am so inspired every time I hear from Literacy Network's students and supporters. I'm going to go off script right now, and I want to commend Literacy Network for bringing on board Omega School. We've known of Oscar's work since we started the station 25 years ago, and he's an amazing man and has done amazing work. I've only got one question for him. How do you retire at 39? Oscar, how do you retire at 39? Yes. Yeah, okay. So, one of our students videoed tape today. One of our interviewees is in the audience today. Pauline. Where's Pauline? Pauline? Can you please stand so we can acknowledge you? Thank you for sharing your experiences with us. Gracias. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for all my teachers, because they teach me with love. They're so nice and kind. I want to say thank you for the Literacy Network for all the good job, and say thank you for all the staff. I want to say thank you for all people with the support the Literacy Network. All you people, you are welcome. God bless you us.
This is so wonderful. Thank you so much, Pauline. And that beautiful daughter. In the video, we also hear from Stephanie. Stephanie is here with her dad, and who was one of our first students. Stephanie and Dad, can you please also wave us and show us where you guys are? so we can thank you very quick. Thank you. In the video, Stephanie shared that she has been involved in Literacy Network in a number of ways. First as a tutor, then an intern, and now a board member and committee chair. This is true of many Literacy Network supporters, that they get involved in one way and their involvement continues and grows. This is the case of our next speakers too. Eunice Hardy and Vic Pantalone have both been dedicated Literacy Network tutors. In addition, Eunice has spent time as a classroom instructor for some of our group ESL classes. They are also generous financial supporters of Literacy Network. Eunice and Vic, could you please come to the podium to share more about your tie to Literacy Network and why adult literacy education is so important to you? Please join us, Eunice and Vic.
Good afternoon, everyone. In 2011, excuse me, I left my friends, my family, and my comfort zone and followed my very significant other to live in South Africa. For the first time in my life, I was a minority. I didn't know how to speak Zulu or Afrikaans. I experienced firsthand how frustrating it was to struggle with communication. Once we settled into our new home in South Africa, I volunteered as a teaching assistant at a couple of government schools. I enjoyed this so much that when I returned to the US, I studied and earned my ESL certificate. Shortly after receiving my teaching certificate, I connected with a literacy network, first as a volunteer and later as an instructor. I have been involved with the Literacy Network for 7 years now. What I like about contributing to the Literacy Network is that I can see how both my time and my money make a difference. Some examples of how I have been able to see this difference are as follows. I have witnessed a student, Dan, advance to a higher level in English class. I have had a student, Zai, thank me because he was able to get a new position in his workplace. A student, Maria, told me that she's now more confident speaking to her doctor. Lastly, and very recently, I had a student show me a diagram of a room setup and tell me thank you. Now I understand how to arrange the tables in this conference room. Not only do I feel that I have made a difference, but I also feel confident that our donations have been used appropriately. And I have one example for you. That was during the pandemic. Dick and I were able to purchase a couple hundred books so that all the students would be able to have a book while they study for their classes by Zoom. I like to contribute to the Literacy Network because it is a small, local organization that makes a positive impact on our community. It's very rewarding and heartwarming to know that I can help improve the lives of others.
Good afternoon. As a little boy in Western Pennsylvania, all I ever wanted for Christmas presents or birthday presents was books. Now, I guess back then I might not have been called a nerd, but I probably was. Eventually, I got interested in sports, music, and girls, but I could always depend on reading to satisfy my curiosity when those other things weren't available. The ability to read is so easily taken for granted, and yet there are people in this community who cannot read because they never went to school, or they had a disability that was not recognized, or they arrived on our shores totally unprepared for either the language or our customs. I became involved in the Literacy Network through my wife's teaching, but in the back of my mind, I had always wanted to teach this fundamental skill. Moreover, I feel a very strong social obligation to improve the lives of others through this very simple opportunity. It is so simple and yet so profound to the lives of the people we tutor, opening unimaginable levels of opportunity for them that we have always just taken for granted. On a weekly basis, I can chart the improvement of my students as we read and write slowly and repetitively the basics of our language. We celebrate their steady progress with laughs and games and dreams for the future. I cannot stress how enthusiastic the students are to learn just the basic language skills and customs and peculiarities of our society. I am constantly amazed at how many of my students were able to navigate through their lives without these basic literacy skills, propelled to adulthood by their own determination and guile. There is a fundamental drive in these people to succeed, to better themselves and their families. In a previous life, I was able to carry equipment directly to foreign countries where I worked directly, benefiting the population I was serving. Here in Madison, we have the same opportunity at Literacy Network. Eunice and I have been able to contribute our time and resources directly to the people and staff that live and work in our community. How more immediate to our mission and cost-effective to our goal can that be? We have been lucky in our lives to work with a few select organizations at a fundamental level, understanding the goals and limitations, but knowing that our contributions go directly to those who need it. I urge you to contribute whatever you can to Literacy Network. It benefits us all. Thank you.
Dude, he's tall. Thank you, Eunice and Dick. Thank you for your ongoing commitment to the students and your support of their dreams. We now have the true privilege of hearing from two current Literacy Network students. First, citizenship student Vicente will share some thoughts about his life in the United States and why he is looking forward to becoming a citizen. Vicente's teacher, Megan shares with us Vicente has been studying for the citizenship test with Literacy Network since January of this year. Vicente is a wonderful student and a mentor to other students in the class. I am so glad that you, this is what Megan says, that you have this chance to learn about Vicente's journey to citizenship and his future goals. Vicente?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vicente Fuentes Ramirez. I'm from Puebla, Mexico. I got here in May 11, 2000. I come here to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I can find job, so someone dropped me off here in Pittsburgh. I can find job there either because I was so young. I was 15. I started help one guy just to clean tables at a restaurant called American Table. I had child here, so I decided to stay. I got my green card on October 18, 2021. After that, I want to get my citizenship. My wife is a U.S. citizen and want me to have the same rights as her. It's different for us. You don't see how much people who are not citizens push away. In 2017, I tried to rent my apartment, and they told me, you cannot live here. You can live somewhere else. You can come and visit your wife. My wife, she started crying. When you don't know your rights, they make you feel that way. We are surprised, but we don't know that it was illegal for the landlord to say that. And Literacy Network, in my first citizenship class, we had a visitor from the League of Women Voters. And she told me that it wasn't legal for the landlord to discriminate against me because I was not a citizen. If you don't know your rights, people choose for you. When you know your rights, you can say stop and help yourself in situations like we were in. You can speak up for yourself, and that is right. This is why I like citizenship class, because I learned a lot. Now, I'm a second citizenship class, and I have almost all the 100 civic questions memorized. 6 months ago, I decided I want my own restaurant. I saw how much I work in my job. I thought, why don't work for myself? I have a citizenship. I will have more rights and more understand about how business works. Instead of being under someone else, I can do things myself. And I'm also looking forward to voting and make a difference. When you don't have much and you don't know the law and you don't know about U.S. history, you feel like your eyes are covered. Right now, I know my rights and new doors are going to open for me. I want to say thank you all people who support Literacy Network and work in the Literacy Network, because they are helping me learn about American history and English language.
I can relate to the story. I became a citizen 22 years ago, and now my parents are actually learning the 100 questions, and they are getting them, so I'm so proud of that. So muchísimas gracias, Vicente. Buen trabajo, felicidades. Luego nos invitas a tu restaurant. I'm telling him to invite us all of us to his restaurant, right? It would be great to support the business. Next, we welcome Anna. Anna began studying with Literacy Network in 2023 in our Transitions ESL for high-level English language learners, preparing to enter a post-secondary or workforce or workplace certificate program. She has been an active member of Literacy Network's inaugural Student Leadership Council since it began in October 2023. Providing feedback and guidance to Literacy Network regarding organizational decision-making, community outreach, and the students' experience. Anna, welcome.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Anna. I'm 41 years old, and I have started my life over. My story begins on February 21st, 2022. It should have been a regular day with delicious morning coffee and a warm shower. Instead, the day began with explosions. Russia had invaded Ukraine. It was the worst morning of my life. My husband, my 6-year-old daughter, and I couldn't find a safe place. We were terrified. I used to work in a cardiosurgery hospital, as a cardiologist, and we spent 1 week in the hospital's basement. But even there, it became too dangerous. That's when we decided to leave Ukraine. My husband couldn't go with us, and that's how I ended up in the United States with my daughter. Now I no longer have nightmares, and I am no longer afraid of the sound of planes. We have found safety. On the other hand, it costs everything for us. Time with parents, meeting with friends, home and career. I don't know when I will be able to go back home. In Ukraine, I received an excellent education. I graduated from medical school and became a cardiologist. I was lucky enough to work in the largest and most modern hospital in Ukraine, where I provided care to patients with severe heart conditions, preparing them for surgeries and even heart transplants. I was always useful in my role, but that was in another life before the war. Now, as before, I want to be useful in this country and be useful to the people living next to me. Today, I started this difficult journey again, working as a medical technician, and I appreciate this opportunity, but I don't want to stop there. I am ready to pass the exams to earn a Doctor of Medical Science diploma and return to my profession. Thank you. It's very difficult, but I'm glad I have the chance to do this, to use all the knowledge and experience I gained in Ukraine. There is an expression, if it's hard for you, it means you are going in the right direction. Without English, this plan would be impossible. I am deeply grateful to the teachers and Literacy Network. They gave me the chance to attend evening classes, something incredibly valuable for adults with work and family responsibilities. What I truly appreciated was how the school not only taught us the language, but also introduced us to the culture of another country. Most importantly, thanks to the school, I found my first job in the medical field. With the help of our teacher, who guided us through creating perfect CVs and cover letters, today I have no regrets and no doubts. I believe in luck and hard work. I am having a hard life right now, but I am very grateful for the people I have met and for Literacy Network, which is more than just English for me. When I have enough money, I will donate to Literacy Network. Thank you.
Thank you so much to both of these incredible student speakers. Thank you for sharing your stories. And now, I would like to introduce our final speaker today, Ann Karsh. Ann first got involved with Literacy Network as an English tutor. She started working with her student Amada 8 years ago and has continued to work with her to achieve many goals. Ann is one of more than 400 volunteers who helps to make Literacy Network possible each year. I want to take a minute to recognize any other Literacy Network volunteers in the room. If you are a volunteer, would you please stand so that we can give you a round of applause? Any volunteers over here at the Literacy Network? Please stand.
Absolutely, Luis. Thank you to each of one of you volunteers gave nearly 11,000 hours of their time last year in supporting students and their dreams. They are an essential part of Literacy Network. In addition to volunteering as a tutor, Anne is also a board member and financial supporter of Literacy Network. And would you please join us at the podium to share what Literacy Network means to you and why you are dedicated to students and mission. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon. I just want you to know that I practiced my speech to make sure I didn't get too emotional, but I wasn't anticipating all the wonderful emotion that's floating around in the room, so I'll do my best. It's my honor to share with you my involvement with Literacy Network today. I've always been passionate about literacy. I spent my career as an elementary school reading specialist, working with children who were struggling to learn to read. But I was always deeply aware of the importance of adult literacy. After I retired and had time to give, I signed up for tutor training with the Literacy Network, and I've had the privilege of working with the same student, Amada, for 8 years now. Amada came to Literacy Network with a desire to improve her English and get a better job. Over time, she has accomplished that and so much more. Her English speaking, reading, and writing has improved, and she now has a job at a hospital. This past year, she earned her U.S. citizenship. We worked together for 5 years on that, memorizing those questions. And a few weeks ago, she embarked on her next journey, which is earning her high school equivalency degree. I so admire her persistence and dedication, and I am honored to work alongside her to help her reach these goals. One of my favorite parts of working with Amada has been seeing the impact it has had on her daughter. When we started working together, her daughter was just 8 years old. We met at a library, and Amada and I would work for most of the 2 hours, but then I always made sure they had time to go out in the library and pick out books to check out together and read at home. One of the most rewarding things for me was to see her daughter's transition from needing summer school and extra help in reading to moving to reading at grade level. And now her daughter is a high school senior, and she's part of the UW's People program, so hopefully she will enroll at UW-Madison next year. Through my work with Amada, I've seen firsthand the impact that Literacy Network can have on one student and her family. But as Robin told you, last year we had 1,445 students at Literacy Network in programs, and that we're on track to exceed that number this year. So when I think of Literacy Network's free adult literacy programs and the effect they've had on Amada, and I multiply that by 1,445, I have no doubt that supporting Literacy Network is the right thing to do. In addition to being a board member and a tutor, I'm a proud monthly donor to the Literacy Network, and today I ask you to join me in supporting students like Amada, Ana, Vicente, JC, and Bonifacio. When you support Literacy Network, your donations are put to immediate and meaningful use. Whether it's free books, free classes, laptops that we lend, every dollar is an investment in someone's future. You're helping Literacy Network students who are our Dane County neighbors achieve their dreams and improve their lives in ways that ripple out into the community. And I don't know if you know, but studies show that a mother's literacy level is the single greatest determinant of their child's success. This is clearly shown in the lives of my student Amada and her daughter. We also know that approximately 1 in 7 Dane County residents does not yet have enough English or literacy skills needed to navigate our community. Your support of Literacy Network's free programs today creates a brighter future for everyone. You can be confident that your donation is a wise investment when you give to Literacy Network. We've been named a top nonprofit by GreatNonprofits.com. We have a platinum seal of transparency from Candid and 4 out of 4 stars from Charity Navigator. There's an unprecedented demand for our classes. Wait lists are long. So your donation makes a tangible difference in the lives of so many in your community. At your place, you should find a pledge sheet and a donation envelope. We've given you many options today to make a difference. We encourage you to choose a sustaining gift that works for you. Can you support students each year with a generous gift that is a pledge for 5 years? If so, please determine your annual amount and indicate that level. Can you support students with a sustaining monthly gift? If so, please indicate that commitment on the pledge sheet or make your first donation online using the QR code on the pledge sheet. As a monthly donor, you'd be joining me and over 60 other sustainers who use monthly giving as a tool for ease and budgeting. Can you support students today with a one-time donation? Please use the donation envelope at your place for a check or donate on your phone using your credit card. However you choose to help, we are making a difference, and we are so thankful for your support. We're going to pause now for a couple of minutes for you to consider level of support. And please hand your donation envelope to the table captain before you leave. Thank you.
All right, I hope everybody's looking at your mind and making up the donations. Your support and contribution really makes a difference in people's lives, so thank you for that. Thank you for all the contributions and the support to this network. Is there any questions? The captains are getting the envelopes for donation? Yeah? Thank you. All right, let's continue with the program. And the last thing is just, I really like to thank you, Anne. Thank you so much. I also wanted to give my sincere thanks to all of you. We are grateful to you for taking time of your busy schedules to learn more about all the wonderful job that Robin and her team and all Leaders in Network is doing in our community. Please give them a big round of applause. Leaders in Network really rock. Thank you, Robin, for your leadership. And we have some gifts for you at the table. So you have books written by students and a copy of the most recent annual report. So please take copies to read and share with others. If you would like to learn more about being a volunteer, tutor, GeoList Leaders in Networks volunteer manager, and she's at the table near the back of the room, so she can answer any questions or discuss volunteering opportunities with you. I hope you really become a volunteer and supporter. If you have never been to the Learning Center, Leaders in Networks would also like to invite you to take a tour. All are invited to reach out to set up a time and stop by. And I want to sign up because I really want to go over and tour that place. So thank you, everyone. Please.
All right, let's make this a tradition. Lupita and I, this is our first 50th anniversary as MCs. I wanna be here next 50th. Is that okay, Robin? Okay, let's make it the next 2 or 3 50 years.
So you want to be 39 again?
You know,
You wish.
I had a birthday a couple of weeks ago, and we have a busy schedule, right? So Lupita says, baby, I'm sorry I was not able to get a cake for you today. Can you go to Piggly Wiggly and get your own cake?
He went to the high school to pick our son from the football practice, and then I'm wearing my pajamas already, so please stop by to the Piggly Wiggly while you want a cake and get your own cake. And guess what he did?
So I first picked up our 17-year-old son. He's on the varsity over in Monaco. He's 18 now. So I said, well, since I had to go to Piggly Wiggly and get my own cake, hey, I'm gonna go all out. So I decided to get my own candles. 2 numbers, 39. And I actually turned 57, but I thought 39, why not dream? I mean, it's dreamy, right? 39 was a great age for me, but I hope everybody had a great 39th birthday, right? So I celebrated, and I actually, you guys want to see my picture? I took selfies of my 39-year-old cake, so I'm proud. So, you know, thank you for being part of the Literacy Network story. On behalf of myself and Lupita, we wish Literacy Network a very happy 50th anniversary. Thank you for being part of this celebration today and for helping ensure the future for years to come. I'll see you here at the next 50th. So that would be what, 100, right? We'll see you here. We'll see you here. I'll be 157, but that's okay. Thank you. Now let's say trip home. Thank you. Can you tell we work in radio? That's what Lupita and I do.